So in 2001, when the Twin Towers fell, it was right across the street from St. Paul's Chapel. Amazingly, despite the thousands of tons of debris that came crashing to earth and flying every place, not a single window was broken. Now, dust did get into the organ and make it unplayable, but it's since been refurbished, and it is today perfectly serviceable, and they use it here at St. Paul's. Now, the interesting thing about this, St. Paul's is not just a 9/11 memorial importance sort of thing. Now, you can see, here's One World Trade Center. It's just across Church Street. So you can see just how close it was to the Twin Towers. Now, at the time in the recovery, after the towers fell, hundreds and hundreds of volunteer workers worked 12-hour shifts round the clock to feed and house and take care of firefighters, construction workers, police officers, and so many others that were here recovering from the disaster. And for about 8 months, they did that. They serviced the emergency workers that were recovering from the 9/11 attack. They also serviced the spiritual and emotional needs of the community. This became the place where people came and hung pictures, where they brought flowers, where they set teddy bears, until it became overrun, and the church said, well, okay, we'll put up some walls, some boards for everyone. We'll need about 40 of them. Well, as it turned out, by the time it was all over, they needed 400 of them. It became the epicenter for emotional memorabilia honoring the fallen, the lost, and that was right here. It was. I remember the pictures from 15 years ago. It was overwhelming. It's since returned to normal. Now, St. Paul's has a lot of other interesting things about it. Built in 1766. So it is the oldest, the only colonial era building still here in Manhattan, in New York. And it is the oldest continually operating, servicing public building, I think, in America. Still holds services to this very day. When George Washington was elected president on the day of his inauguration, which at that time was in March, not January, he came to service, to worship here at St. Paul's. Now, they do have a memorial pew inside, George Washington's memorial pew, and they also have some other artifacts that are memorial to a fellow by the name of Pierre L'Enfant. Now, L'Enfant was the architect who laid out Washington, D.C., and if you've been to Washington, D.C., you're familiar with his name because of L'Enfant Plaza. You can see that nothing was damaged. There was apparently a sycamore tree on the corner that was damaged by debris, and church history now holds it as a miracle. That tree is responsible for the debris being guarded. It took out the debris before it could hit the church. So not a single pane, glass broken, nothing damaged on this church, being only across the street from the Twin Towers. So we wanted to bring you here and just show you this very quaint little cathedral, this little chapel. And it has great historical significance back in history as well as in modern history. And I thought that was very important. So I hope you've enjoyed this short visit to St. Paul's Chapel here in Manhattan, right on Broadway Street. If you got questions or comments, please leave them in the comments section below. We try to get back to everybody we can. If you haven't already, pick subscribe. Come along for the adventure. We love having everybody with us. And as always, thank you for watching.